On a cold morning in January 1986, people around the world anxiously watched as the Space Shuttle Challenger prepared for its historic launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida. This mission was the 10th time the Challenger had been used, showcasing the impressive engineering and innovation of the Space Shuttle program. However, no one could have predicted the tragic events that were about to unfold. Welcome back once again to Docutainment's videos. The launch took place on an exceptionally chilly day, with temperatures at around -7 degrees Celsius. Despite concerns about the cold weather, the launch proceeded as planned. Just 73 seconds after liftoff, a disaster occurred, and the Challenger broke apart in the sky, its wreckage falling into the Atlantic Ocean. All 7 astronauts on board lost their lives in a matter of seconds. Initial investigations suggested that the solid rocket boosters were to blame for the catastrophe, with a particular focus on the rubber O-rings that sealed the joints between the booster segments. These O-rings played a crucial role in preventing hot gases from escaping during the rocket's ascent. However, it would take years to uncover the true reasons behind the Challenger disaster. To understand what went wrong, let's explore some basic concepts in material science and engineering. Rubber materials behave differently depending on the temperature. When the temperature is above a certain threshold, rubbery materials become very flexible and stretchy. In contrast, when the temperature is below this threshold, they become hard and brittle like glass. In the case of the Challenger's solid rocket boosters, the O-rings were located between the segments of solid fuel. Their main job was to create a secure seal, preventing hot gases and particles from escaping the booster. To ensure safety, 2 O-rings were used in each joint, with an extra layer of heat-resistant putty added to protect the inner O-ring from the intense heat of the rocket's combustion. The critical problem that led to the disaster was how these O-rings behaved in the cold. As the booster ignited and the putty heated up, it moved, causing the air pressure between the putty and the inner O-ring to increase. This led to a gap forming between the O-ring and the insulation. Additionally, the O-rings were slowly eroded by exposure to the hot gases. This situation had escalated to the point where, during a previous shuttle flight in extremely cold conditions, hot gases had completely breached both O-rings. Further tests in March 1985 showed that the O-rings lost their flexibility when used in temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius. A memo in July 1985 expressed genuine concerns about the risk of a flight failure due to these conditions. In the days leading up to the ill-fated launch, engineers repeatedly expressed their worries about launching in such cold weather. Despite multiple delays, there was little urgency in addressing these concerns. Strangely, there was no pressure to rush the launch, yet the concerns of many engineers were not taken seriously. The decision-making process leading up to the launch involved 2 key parties: Morton Thiokol Incorporated, MTI, the company responsible for making the O-rings, and NASA, the agency overseeing the mission. On the eve of the planned launch, MTI engineers and management recommended a delay due to the dangerously low temperatures. It later emerged that Joe Kilminster at MTI had strongly opposed the launch. On NASA's side, Larry Malloy was determined to proceed. According to NASA's rules, it was the contractor's responsibility to prove that the components were ready for launch. If the data was inconclusive, the launch should not proceed. However, Larry Malloy shifted the burden to MTI to prove that the system was not ready. In the midst of political complexities and decision-making, Robert Lund, initially hesitant, eventually agreed to the launch, as did Jerry Mason. Alan McDonald, however, strongly argued against it. Joe Kilminster informed NASA that the data did not support the launch. Nonetheless, NASA managers Larry Malloy and George Hardy decided to proceed, ignoring the concerns raised. The Space Shuttle Challenger was launched into the cold, unforgiving sky as the world watched. As expected, the low temperatures caused the O-rings to become stiff and unable to form a proper seal. Shortly after liftoff, black smoke plumes appeared, signaling trouble. The pressure from the launch caused the cylindrical containers to separate slightly, creating a gap that the O-rings were meant to seal. However, due to the extreme cold, the O-rings behaved like glass, taking too long to seal the gap. Both O-rings vaporize, allowing hot gases to escape through a growing hole. At 73 seconds after launch, disaster struck. The disintegration of the external tank caused the shuttle to lose control, experiencing aerodynamic forces far beyond its design limits. The result was the catastrophic breakup of the shuttle. The solid rocket boosters continued to propel uncontrollably, while the cabin with the crew inside fell into the Atlantic Ocean, with the crew likely conscious until impact. The Challenger disaster is a tragic event etched in the memory of people worldwide. It was witnessed by millions and left a lasting impact on the world. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of thorough testing and understanding of materials, even in advanced engineering projects. In the end, the Challenger disaster illustrates how basic engineering principles must be respected, tested, and validated. Otherwise, the consequences can be devastating, as they were in this case. It is a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge and exploration carries risks that must be carefully managed. I hope you like and share this video of Docutainment. Thank you so much for your kind comments. See you in the next awesome video.